Hello, ladies. Thanks for hanging out with me today. We are doing all things spring today and some food. We are going to start off with making a breakfast braid, very hearty, full of calories, delicious, but I try not to make these any more than like once a month. After we get that done, we'll move into planting some spring seeds and repotting houseplants. Then we'll do a little decorating for spring. And I think I'll throw in some of the items that I am getting my boys for their Easter basket. Now for this breakfast braid, it's super easy. All you need is a roll of puff pastry, scramble up some eggs. I do 6, but you could probably get away with 5 or more if you want. And today I cooked up some of the breakfast sausages, but you can do bacon, you can do ham. You just put whatever you want in this thing. So start off with the cheese on the bottom, whatever cheese you want. I did cheddar here, but you can use feta, provolone, mozzarella, any kind of cheese you want. So then once you put some cheese down, then just put the eggs on. I usually cook the eggs a little bit less than I cook them on this day, but you know how it is. Sometimes things on the stove get away from you when you have a lot of distractions. But it was still delicious and wonderful. So I would just say lightly cook the eggs and then add whatever meat you want and then more cheese on top. And then we are going to cut the pastry dough so that we can wrap it up. Now, you guys, you're going to be so jealous at my mad braiding skills. You'll see, it's real pretty. It looks more like a mummy than I think anything else. But you know what? If I can do it, anybody can do it. Okay. So just make all kinds of diagonal cuts up and down the sides, and then we're going to fold it over and we're going to just go back and forth like a braid. One thing I'm going to try next time is cutting those diagonal pieces a little bit thicker. I think that they would cross over better and maybe cover more of the inside if they were cut thicker. But you know what? I made it work. And you'll see that those corners that I cut off, I end up cutting those and stretching them out and putting those right on there too to kind of cover in any holes, which is probably how it turned out looking like a mummy. You know what? I should have put some googly eyes on it when I brought it to the table. I think I'm going to do that next time. The boys would like that. Now we're just going to brush it with some melted butter, and then we're going to put a bagel seasoning sprinkled on top. And I think this is the best part of it. I love the bagel seasoning, and the one I use on this day is a bagel seasoning with bacon. And I like that for when I'm not putting bacon on the inside. If I put bacon on the inside, then I would use just the regular bagel seasoning, because I like the taste of bacon. Once it is all seasoned up, then you're just going to put it in the oven for about 18 to 20 minutes on 350. And I'm also getting some grapes ready. Now, you'll notice I didn't put any vegetables in the braid, and I like it with different veggies in it, but I will definitely get some complaints from a certain couple of kiddos in the household. So I do not put any vegetables in it, but I'll make sure that we have plenty of fruit to have with it. So on this day, I'm doing grapes, and I just sprinkle those with baking soda and then just barely cover the fruit with water and then add some vinegar and let it set for 5 minutes and then rinse it all off. And this is after about 18 or 19 minutes in my oven. And look how delicious that looks, ladies. It is so delicious. And so now we're just going to pop the grapes on here. I'm going to leave it right on the cutting board and bring it over to the table just like this. And it is a crowd pleaser. Now that this is all done, next up we are going to move on to spring planting. Now, my plan was to just do some seed starting for our garden, but I was at Walmart and I'm always looking for some pots for the plants for my house plants, my regular plants that stay in the house. And I've been looking for a long time, and I found some that I really liked. So not only are we just going to start seeds today, we're going to repot my house plants. So we're going to do that first. For the house plants, I'm just using an organic potting soil, and I put stones in the bottom of all the pots so that everything gets good drainage. This is my Christmas cactus, and it is about to fight back. Ow. It touched me right on that open part. Oh. Can you pull the glove up and my sweatshirt down? Oh, I feel it.
Oh, dang it.
In there, Abraham.
Touched me, but I didn't get anything.
This Christmas cactus I've had for probably at least 20 years, and I love it. We call it a holiday cactus because it blooms like every holiday, not just Christmas. Oh, and speaking of prickly, pointy things, Mr. Levi, my furry stalker who never takes his eyes off of me, he finally did the other day. He was outside with the boys and he ran down one of the trails and he came back with 55% of a porcupine. That was disgusting. But he only ended up with one quill in his nose, so we got that right out for him. But each day he keeps finding new parts to bring back and joyfully share with his other house members. I can't imagine there's much left. Now the boys and I are going to start seeds for our flowers and vegetables for the garden. Now Abraham and I were just down in the basement and we found these bulbs down there. Tulips, more tulips, hyacinth, and alliums. Guys, I don't even remember getting these, but the bulbs look really good. They're firm and they're starting to have their growth on them. So, I don't remember when we purchased these. I have no memory of that whatsoever, which is crazy. So this was a surprise. So downstairs I also found this bloom maker jar, and someone had gotten this for me for a gift one spring, and the tulips were already in it and already blooming, but I kept the jar. So I am going to attempt to start some of the tulips that I didn't know about. I'm going to start them in here and see if we can get some tulips going. It's too cold to plant them outside right now, so I need to do something with them indoors so that they don't die. So we're going to do that. That was a special surprise for us today. Also, for the seeds that we were planning on starting today, I've got some flowers. We have so many seeds, guys. So we've got flowers and we've got all kinds of vegetables. So what I like to do is organize them into seeds that we start indoors right now in March, and seeds that we're going to start in the spring. We're going to direct sow them right into the garden. So we need to go through and separate all these. For the stuff that we're going to start inside, I have these super seed pop-out reusable trays. I tried these for the first time last year and it worked out really, really well. So I got a couple more. So we'll have these guys in here. When we first start the seeds, we will put them on a heat lamp, and they don't need direct sun yet, but we've got to keep them warm. And then once they start popping up, we'll put the lights on for them. So we'll just get started here. This is what we're going to use to fill our trays. The organic Jiffy seed starting mix. So that's what I have in here right now, mixed with water. I'm trying to moisten it up a bit. And then we'll fill our trays and put our seeds in at the depth that we are supposed to put them in. And then we are going to use just some regular popsicle sticks, and we will label them. This is how we'll label our seeds and keep track of what we've got growing. after you've been doing it for a long time, once they pop up, you can pretty much figure out what they are. But we definitely want to keep close track, so we'll use these to label everything. So it looks like we are going to just put our bulbs on this little level here and then fill it up to the bottom of this base with water, and I guess keep it at that level. So let's see. Pam, pick your tulips that you want to put in here. So fire wing tulips or this mixture of purples and yellow.
These ones.
You want these? Okay, so why don't you go ahead and take them out. Look at these. They're nice and firm. These are so in such good shape. Here, let me see if I can. I've got the growth coming up here. Oh, it's perfect. So we are going to, you're going to place them in here, Abraham, so that they're kind of like this is sticking up and the root side is facing down, okay? You may have to like use one to hold up another one.
Can they be like kind of like that?
Let's see if we can shimmy them around and kind of get them pretty flat. Or if there's a smaller one.
Maybe this one?
I want to get the... Okay, so all their little roots or root bottoms are submerged in the water. So we'll just see how this works out. Look at the roots on this. This is the allium. Look at all those little, it's like a little hedgehog. All right, so where's that one?
Right here.
I want to try to, so we put the alliums right down deeper, right in there, because those are supposed to be 8 inches. Then we get the hyacinths on top. We got one allium here and one allium there. And then our hyacinths are gonna sit on top, so we'll cover them over. Ladies, we are using, like I said, the popsicle sticks to label. However, I've used, what are these called? Vinyl shutters. Like the blinds, the vinyl blinds. We had some and took them down and replaced them with wooden ones. But so I didn't throw away all those blinds. I actually keep them and use them because they're plastic and you can write on them with permanent marker and use these right out in the garden. Because these ones, the wooden ones, they will break down after a while. So anyway, so just another option of something around the house that you might be able to recycle. So Abraham and I went down into the basement because I remembered that I had a romaine plant out in the garden last year that was so beautiful and huge, and I did not harvest it at all. So that way it would go to seed and I could use those seeds to start some romaine for our garden this year. Also, I got the seeds from the marigolds that we had in our garden that we purchased them last year. Can you open this, Abraham? They were marigolds that we had purchased, but they were really nice. So I took off the dried heads with the seeds in it last fall, and we are going to try and start our own. Here, there's all the seeds. So we'll try and start our own so that we don't have to purchase those this year. We'll see how that goes. Here's a closer look at one of the seed starting trays. So this is the tray that we're going to put the soil in, and then it has this tray underneath for watering, which is amazing. And then once your plants are big enough and you want to take them out, plant them outside, or repot them into something bigger, these just help pop them right out. Yeah, I used these last year and they worked out really good, and I have 2 different sizes. So these are the bigger cells, so I'll use these for pumpkins, gourds, the cucumbers, the plants that are going to get a little bigger before we get them outside. And this is the smaller celled tray that we'll use for plants that don't grow quite as fast. So I'll probably do my flowers in here, and yeah, we'll see. This crown of thorns gourd that we have says to start them inside, and it says to nick them and put the seeds in water overnight. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna nick just a little end of these. I've not ever done that before. So we'll see if that looks good. We'll do. So we're gonna mark a 1/4 inch, a 1/2 inch, and a 1 inch. That's it, that's all we need. And that way we can make sure we're putting everything at the right seed depth. So you have, what do you have?
1/4.
What's that one?
1/2. 1/4.
3.
3/4. Full.
Okay. At the end of this video, I'll give you a little peek at what these plants looked like about a week later. Now we're going to get into doing a little spring decorating. I'm pretty late on this year, but I feel like I've been consistently late for decorating for probably the last year. So really, maybe that means I'm right on time. Did you ladies see that little Lego build that was right on this dresser? So I'm always finding Lego builds all over the house, everywhere, all the time, every day. It's wild and crazy. I want to know, what do you ladies find that is left around your house? So that one that that was up here, it has a little drawer that pulls out. I pulled that little drawer out. It has Lego heads inside. What are my children doing? This painting is Cliff Walk by Monet. Obviously, it's not an original, ladies, but it is one of my most favorite paintings. All the colors in it, it's just so beautiful, and it's just one of those things that you look at and it just makes you smile. I love it so much. And so I had a Christmas picture up here pretty much all winter, so I'm really glad to get this back up for the spring. I have this up like all the rest of the year. While we're doing a little spring decorating, I'm going to pop on the screen also some different things that I am going to put into the boys' Easter baskets. Now, as you ladies have probably guessed, my boys are obsessed with Legos, especially, I mean, they both really love them, but especially my 6-year-old. So he has been eyeing this Imperial Walker for a while, and it was pretty pricey, so I was waiting for a real special occasion to get it for him. And here's another Star Wars build for the little guy. We also got a bunch of different Star Wars minifigs to put into the Easter eggs for the Easter egg hunt, instead of putting candy in the eggs. For Easter, I always like to get the boys summer things that they are going to need. So Benjamin needed a new rash guard. Summer sandals are always a good thing to throw in the baskets too. These are a couple of pillow covers that I got off of Amazon that I love so much. I have one of them on my bed that I've had for over a year, and I wanted to get a few for spring and summertime down in the living room. I absolutely love them. I'll link them below for you. And both boys are going to get some new Yeti lids thrown in their baskets. This is that brand for the pillow covers. And my 11-year-old is going to get this cookbook. He has been very interested recently in learning how to cook things, and he would really like to have a cooking elective for our homeschool. So I thought that this would be helpful and he would really enjoy that. And I picked up these Mad Libs because those are always fun. And Abraham's feet are always growing nonstop, so he is in need of some new sneakers. These pillow inserts that I got in the fall, they're super fluffy and soft and like firm. They don't get all weird and lumpy like some other pillow inserts, but they're like pilling on the outside, and that stuff is coming off and it's getting all over me. So I guess I can't like recommend them, but other than that, I am super happy with them. They're very comfortable. So I'll just shove them back in the new pillow covers and totally forget about that whole situation. Back to Easter baskets, my 11-year-old is also getting another pair of shoes. I also picked up these Yum Earth gummy fruits. I have to be very careful about the candy that I purchase for the boys, especially Benjamin. He has a real sensitivity to the dyes in foods, so we try to stay away from them at all cost. I also found these Yum Earth Giggles. I think they're supposed to be like Skittles. We have not had those ones before, but those look fun to try. I really love Skittles, and so does Abraham. So we'll see how those taste. I'll let you guys know if they're any good. One of our Easter traditions every year is painting the little plastic Easter eggs. So we do a few every year and we just keep adding them to this basket. I think I might need to get a larger basket here pretty soon, but these are some of our favorites. Now, I know that decorating Easter eggs is a very traditional Easter thing to do with our families, but I was wondering, what do you ladies do for Easter traditions? Are there any other special things that you like to do with your family? If so, leave it in the comments down below, and maybe we can give each other some ideas of new traditions we can start with our families. And for the end of this video, I wanted to give you a quick peek at what the plants look like just a week later after we potted them up. These are the little tulips. They're just popping up, and the hyacinths right here. I can't believe how fast the hyacinths have popped up. That was very surprising. Here are the tulips. They are looking green and growing taller, so I'm very excited about those tulips in the jar. And here are some other little tiny baby plants that are popping up, my flowers and our vegetables for the garden. Ladies, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.